Hello YouTube fam, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. A while back I did a video talking about kids don't play with toys anymore. You know, due to the economy and everything that's happening, grown people don't play with toys anymore. So who's playing with toys right about now? A lot of grown-ups are finding out that shopping deals and saving money is a good thing right now. A lot of people are not trying to spend full dollar amounts on toys anymore because with everything else going up, they have to make adjustments. And that's the biggest thing that's happening here that nobody's paying attention to. We're having issues. Kids don't have money. They get money from their parents. And if their parents don't have no money, they don't get it. Kids play with toys like, Blues Clues, Paw Patrol, all that stuff, man. Stuff that don't really require a hell of a lot of money. But when you start talking about all the Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse, those are like 25 a piece, bro. So what are we doing? We're not about to buy kids 4 toys and that's $100. We're not doing that. Shit, we're not about to spend $100 on 4 toys. Unless it's some bangers, bro. And most of the time we done saved up to get this type of stuff, man. What are we doing? What are we thinking? Right now, we are in a type of economy where we got to wait and see. We got to wait to see if we could afford the stuff that we got. Stuff that we pre-order, we are starting to pay attention to, like, it may not be worth it. Some of these pre-orders are not worth it, bro. Some of these items that I looked at, man, I had to get off my list my damn self because I'm like, man, this is not for me. People say, hey, it's easy to pre-order. But you know what? When you pre-ordering sometimes, man, you pay full price. Keep paying full price for toys, man. It have you thinking like, yeah, this wasn't a smart move. Because you're thinking about it now. You realize this is not where it's supposed to be. You're not where you feeling like you're doing your best at. So you're starting to back up and say, man, maybe I should focus more on doing this, this, and this. Dude, I have spent all kind of money buying toys over the first 4 months. Shit, last year, bro. And I was sitting here thinking to myself, man, I cut eBay out of the equation for a little while. Like my wife asked, Amazon, and I see the difference. It ain't ridiculous right now. eBay for me was ridiculous because, again, you find so many different things that you want, stuff that didn't you even know you wanted. You bought this item and it showed a picture of another item and you looking at all this. You're trying to make it work for yourself, man, and you're starting to look and say, hey, look, I need to do some different things. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm starting to realize that kids don't want to play with toys anymore because they got their tablets. They were raised with phones and tablets, basically raising them. Now, they don't want to play with no damn toy. They're looking at you, even if it's like WWE or something like that that's been on forever. Kids are not even really watching that anymore. It's more like adults watching. And see, that's the thing. We done took the kid out of the kid. We made these miniature adults. Now all of a sudden it's like, damn, what do we do now? How do we actually bring them back? We don't. Now we got to understand what it is that we need to do and keep pushing, man. Like I said, I'm enjoying a lot of stuff that we do, man. And like I say, you got to keep on. You got to know what you're spending. You got to know how much you can spend. These kids, all they do is cry. And they say, look, this is what I want. And sometimes the parent just let them cry and be like, I can't afford that. And that's it. You be like, well, they can't afford it. So I'm going to be quiet now. That's what it is. That's what you do. You can't do things that don't make common sense, man. And that's what it is. We've been doing a lot of shit that, don't make sense. And we've been complaining about it. If you can't afford something, don't do it. This toy game, man, as far as kids, they got so much else to do, man. They don't even go out most of the time. They play with video games. They be on their computers. They be doing all type of shit. They be, Not even on bikes. You see some kids on bikes, but you don't see what you used to see. There used to be kids everywhere on bikes, roller skates and skateboards and everything. I see grown people on skateboards now, and those big rolling wheels. I see grown people doing this stuff. Where are all the kids that did this stuff at? They're not there anymore because it's not fun to them anymore. There's no purpose in that anymore. Kids are like grown people now. They're going on trips and stuff like that. They're experiencing certain parts of life that, a lot of us at that particular age, even at this particular age, still haven't seen. This is why I say make sure you understand what the hell really going on, man. Like I said, I've been buying stuff, man, but I've been paying attention to what I'm buying. I'm like, damn, it don't seem like you get a lot for your money with some of this stuff. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get frustrated with all the stuff and you try to make it make sense for yourself. You're like, man, I don't even get this. And like I said, now you've been going into stores and starting to realize that stuff is not there anymore. You're not finding things that you would love to have. Now you're feeling some kind of way. Now you're upset and you feeling, like things could be a lot better. Man, think about it. Kids can't buy toys because guess what? If they even go to places like Ross, we in there taking all the shit from them. I'm one of them, so I hate to say it, I am. So think about it. They came back from there, not even DD's. They came back from Target or Walmart because you got grown people in the aisle. And, as a whole grown-ass man, I'm not out here to be out here about your kid. I'm not in here trying to steal your kid. I'm in here buying what I'm buying. Leave me alone. But, you get into these aisles and kids try to have conversations with you. And, dude, I will leave out that damn aisle quick. Why? Because this is not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to talk to your kid. If you're not there and you're not having a conversation as an adult with another adult, leave that where it's at, dude. Again, I was somewhere and a kid asked me to buy something. Dude, I left out that aisle so fast. I found my wife and we were just talking, Then you get these things where, a lot of grown people don't understand. This is a hobby for a lot of other, Generation X and the people that came after us, like the millennials. But for the other people who be like, you too damn old to be playing with toys. Who are you to judge me for what the hell I'm doing? Ain't kids too young to be playing with phones? And the damn kid know how to work the damn phone. He know how to work the phone better than his mama. These little kids 1 and 2 know how to operate the damn phone. How the hell is that? Some of these kids can't even walk or talk but know how to operate a phone. You got to make this shit make sense to me. Kids are not here to play with toys anymore. There's anything else. They got them playing these Call of Duty games, these other type of games where they're shooting people. They training them how to, get into the military and shoot and all this stuff. Man, you think this stuff is not training for something? They're not treating kids like what they are. Back in the day, we were treated as kids. You're meant to be seen, not heard. That's how it was when I was little. You are seen, but not heard. When you at a table with adults, you do not open your mouth. You just sit there. And if somebody asks you something, you look at your parent first before you open your damn mouth. That's how it was. Now kids can just open their mouth and say what the hell they want to. There's no repercussions. They could cuss you out and you still go buy them dinner and toys. Dude, Motherfucker, if I cuss my mom out or my daddy out, bro, I didn't eat. I wouldn't definitely get no toy, bro. Shit, my ass was beat. I was crying and that damn thing. You know how they whoop the damn sound out of you? You can't even talk no more. You over there. You screaming and hollering because you can't even talk no more. Bro, look. To keep it real, I'm trying to find out who's buying toys at this point. I know I'm still buying them, and I'm saying this. But, with these prices, with everything, dude, they taking the fun out of it. They taking the fun out of toys. With these prices, they are taking the fun out of collecting toys. Just being serious, realistic. And I want you to keep thinking about this. With these prices, they are taking the fun out of collecting toys. And nobody ever pays attention to that. They think you just talking and running your mouth. And nothing else makes sense. No, this is real. Pay attention to it. Real talk, fam. But till later, peace out.